Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name's Tholen, and today we're going to be looking at a wafer build. Now, wafers are built from the resource called Telluxite. So what you're gonna want to do is first is find a Telluxite ore vein somewhere on your map, and preferably locate the vein somewhere away from your your primary base. The benefit of the Telluxite build is that it only requires the benefit of the wafer build is that it only requires Telluxite in order to make. You don't need any other materials, so you don't need to ship anything else in. It's a very independent build, making it a primary candidate to build away from your primary base. So let's take a look at what we'll need here. I've got 3 green belts, tier 3 belts already set up, pulling some Telluxite out of the mine. And that's going to give us the right ratio. So we'll go over numbers as we build this, and we'll go from there. I'll show the numbers as we go, because the numbers do get a little crazy. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this guide, because the ratios are a little funny. All right, so we're going to need, well, let's just take a look. Let's get a crusher down, and we'll take a look at what it requires. All right, we'll set it to Telluxite ore, and you'll notice here is it takes a very large amount of the Telluxite ore rubble, and it makes it just a pretty small amount of the Telluxite ore. That's in pretty stark contrast to most of the other ores that you'll build or that you have to crush in the game. They're generally a 1-to-1 ratio, like your xenoferrite and your technum and your ignium. But the Telluxite is quite a bit different in that regard. So it takes actually half a belt, T3 belt. So all we need is just 2 of these, and that's already going to consume a full green belt, okay? So since we have 3 belts incoming, we're going to need 6 of them, but we're going to orient them like this. You'll see why in a minute. So 1, 2, input, output. So that should go there, I believe. All right, we'll take a look. All right, so let's wire one of these in. So as we said, 2 crushers consume a full belt, so that'll consume that belt. And we need one to also consume this belt. And let's get some inputs here. So we have an input and input, except I mark those as outputs for some reason. And we're going to have an input and input for that one. Okay, so then we're going to need another belt here for the inputs for this side, and we need 2 of them. All right, and these need to be staggered a little bit because we've got to deal with the outputs, and we need an output of the ore itself. Okay, so let's get the outputs. We need a longer one. So here's an output like so. Output, output. And we need a 3-laner for here for output. Output, 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 and output. Okay, and I guess here, let's actually disconnect that belt for the moment so we don't have too many distractions. Okay, and let's build now the tier 2 smelters. In order to smelt this ore, we need the advanced smelter. The tier 1 smelter will not work here. Okay, so here we're going to have the inputs. So we actually need 8 of these. Let's get all of them down. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to have them nice in a nice column like this, very purty. Okay, and we'll have input, 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 like so. And then we're going to need an input over here. So input, input, like so. Okay, and then we're going to need output belts So let's make the output belt. And I believe, we'll double check this, but I'm pretty sure this can be handled by a yellow belt. So we'll just mark it as a yellow belt just so everyone could see and it'll be very clear that that's a lower output. You don't need a whole lot of throughput there. Okay, so now we just got to get things loaded onto the output belt. So we'll need a little bit here. All right, so we have an output like so. This has to be an output. And this will have to be an output, 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 output. So now we're going to do the other side. This has to be an output. All right, so there we go. Now we should have, let's actually take a look what we have here. Oh, and we can't see unless we have some materials. All right, so let's get some materials flowing. Okay. So yeah, the output is actually very little here. That's why we don't need a very heavy belt. You see it only has 15 per minute. And all of these should fire up as we go down the line, assuming we did our job correctly. So we'll let that build up. And we'll continue on here. Okay, so now the output for this needs to go into the, I believe it's the electric furnace, which we have some here. And we're going to need 3 of these. And we're going to put, doesn't really matter which way you put it. Might be a little easier to have it this way. I think I know what pattern I want. We're going to just line it up here like so. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at our panel. We're going to configure it to do liquid telluxite. Okay. And we'll go over numbers here in a minute, and I'll show you kind of why they work. But let's look what our outputs are. So we have an output over here. And we have, so this is the one that's active. Okay, so we're going to tile them up like this. So 2 and 3. And then we're going to take the output of the telluxite. What's this even called here? Telluxite ingots. All right, and we're going to fire this through all the way so we can have inputs for all of them. 1, 2, 3. And let's hook up the pipes as well. So we got output pipe here. Let's be careful, make sure we get the connections right. I think that's right. And we could do an angle like so. There we go. All right, let's bring this all the way across. And another one like so. And let's make sure we get the one in the middle. And like so. Okay, so let's look at the numbers here. We have 8, so we calculated this appropriately. So our output here is now 80 times 6, right? So 80 times 6 was the 480, right? 4,800. And these accept 15 times 8. Or sorry, 60 times 8. My bad, I got that backwards. So this consumes, which is also 480. So it's a 6 to 8 relationship, right? A ratio, I should say, right? So you need 6 of these, but you need 8 of the advanced furnaces, because this requires 80, but this produces, sorry, this this requires 60, but this produces 80. So you got the 80 to 60 relationship there. So that's why this is 6 to 8. Okay, and these guys require 40 of the ingots, right? So, and these are producing 15, so 15 times 8 is 120, and 40 times 1, 2, 3 of the electric furnace is 120. So we're producing the exact amount that these electric furnaces can produce. So that's how we get our numbers. All right, so these now produce 2,000 of the liquid. So we need to then funnel these into casters. All liquid needs to go into casters to make something useful. So let's grab our casters. And let's see, which way is this got to face? I think it's got to face... Let's just test it out. I can't remember which side's the input and which side's the output. So we're going to wafers. We want the input of this. We got it right. All right, good. So if you look at what the wafer build is, here it requires 1,000 of the liquid telluxite. So we have 6,000 being produced by these electric furnaces, 2,000 times 3. So we need 6 of the casters. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and let's just hook them all up. All right, now all of these big bad boys should be smoking. Oh, did I not configure them? Maybe I didn't configure them. Oh, there we go. It just took a minute for all of the liquid to flow down the pipe there. Okay, they're all going. All right, and we're just then going to output the, and this is a very slow, you'll notice this is only producing, let's take a quick look again, 5, I think, 2.5. Oh my goodness, that's so slow. So since we have, what, 6 of them, you're looking at 18. So this is 18 per minute. Yeah, that's pretty darn slow. That's actually 15. Never mind, not even 18. So we're just going to throw these on a red belt just to show how actually slow this is. If you want to put them on a green belt, feel free. I think that's what most people do. But for these guides, I do like illustrating the actual throughput of these. And we're just going to throw these here in a, I'll just go like this. That's fine. There. We'll just throw these on a freight elevator, and that's what you'd normally do. You put them, I've got the cargo ship up there, and it takes all your wherever you want to transport this to any place in your base. So yeah, let's get the outputs going. So we can go like that. And the nice thing about these wafers is that they're a very, very dense material, right? So we're taking three full tier 3 belts and converting them into 15 per minute. So transporting, putting these on a you don't need much transport ships to do this. So you don't want to be transporting the ores. Like this would be a very, very inefficient way. If you transported the ores somewhere else to do your wafer build, yeah, you don't want to be transporting the telluxite raw for that reason. You'd be doing a lot, you need a lot of ships just to transport a very little amount, and you get very little out of it, like a very few wafers and so on and so forth. And there we go, everything should be smoking. All the crushers should be crushing. All the smelters should be smelting. And why is this guy not smelting? Some of the buffers may not be completely full yet. I believe I should be getting a full... Oh, no, I'm getting some gaps once in a while here. I'm not sure why that is. I think there might be a problem down in the mine, but normally everything should be running. As long as you have three full belts coming in, everything should be running just fine, as long as our numbers worked out, and I'm quite sure they do. All right, guys, this is a nice quick guide. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like and subscribe if you enjoy these guides. More to come for Foundry. Come check me out at Great Life Gaming, Tholen 1000 on Twitch, and we'll have a lot of fun. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye.